Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode and also the second episode of the Platinum Achievements podcast. As always, I'm Ray. And today, as always, I am joined by I had one for you. It was going to be a reference to the Five for Fighting song 100 Years because I just heard it on the car. My favorite warrior of the Western forces, Gary.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is that trademarked?
What, Western forces?
No.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't see a TM. I never hear a TM whenever Colin does it.
I think he's got to say the TM afterwards.
Right?
Yeah. Western forces, Gary. You know what that's from?
I don't.
Little movie I watched the other day called Civil War.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot of war in it per se. It's more about the photojournalists covering the Civil War.
Is it as good as Captain America Civil War though?
I'd say it's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. We were talking a little bit before we start recording. A little tired. Sammy got up early, so I got up early, and then I got a little hour sleep. He was up at like 4 something. Tragically, we might have to start cutting naps, which blows because that's when I get some gaming time in.
Mm-hmm. Or nap time in yourself.
No, I can't nap.
Oh, really?
No, I'm terrible. Like I just cannot. My wife tries to get me to nap even when I don't really sleep well. And I'm just like, I literally cannot do it.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I've tried just laying down. Like if I'm tired, I'll try to like lay down and half the time I can technically nap, but it just makes it worse. I'll wake up, even if I get like an hour in or something, I'll wake up and I'll just feel even more tired. I was like, that was a waste of an hour.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's.
Hi, Kira.
She'll be like, go upstairs and relax. I'm like, okay. So I'll either go upstairs and watch a movie or play a game. If I'm like really kind of like just run down. Like I was sick the other day. I had something when I was really weak. She sent me upstairs and I think I finished. I think I watched Blue Beetle. I might have finished a game. And then I finished off Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1.
Nice.
So, yeah, I can't nap, and it feels like a waste of time, for sure.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. On the waste of time part, like, my girlfriend is she is a like professional napper.
My wife too.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got nothing against it. Like, hey, you do you, but I can't. It's just not my thing.
I got stuff I want to do today.
Yeah, for sure. Come on, girl.
That's the other thing. These girls ain't got no hobbies. They don't got nothing to fill that time with. So they're like, what else are you gonna do?
Yep. True that.
But let us begin. Recording date, January 12th. And where is? Hold on.
Oh, that's perfect. I got two of my girls with me.
Gross.
Cats on my lap. Dogs on my love seat next to me. It's gonna be a good episode. All
right, so yeah, we're recording on January 12th. You have 346 shopping days left till Christmas.
Jesus, this guy. We gotta stress people out every episode, man.
Just gotta keep you on your toes.
It's more than 300 days. It's not the only sickness you got.
It's just a cold. It's just a cold, Gary.
Is that what you're calling it nowadays?
Is that trademarked? I don't know if we can do that.
Get up, come on, get down.
Yeah, I got some sort of cold going on, which is lovely. What was I pulling up? Oh, Area X. Currently sitting at 729,249 gamer score. I'll give you guys a heads up now. I haven't played Xbox this week, so
naughty boy.
No change there. But sitting pretty at. That feels wrong. That doesn't feel accurate. Is that right? Hold on. Let me check my PlayStation app. Xbox delayed. No, it's accurate.
PlayStation.
That feels incorrect to me, but I'll allow it. I am sitting pretty at 120 platinums, 795 golds, 1090 silvers, 2475 bronze. You may notice that is a what is that, 2 increase? I'm trying to think. Yeah, we talked about Stray. Obviously, and this will be every week, I played more Cars 3 Driven to Win because that's Sammy's game of choice. But I did finally bang it out. I did Star Wars The Clone Wars, the PS2 game on the PS5.
How was that?
It's good. It's better than I remember, for sure.
What type of game is that? Is it like a third-person shooter?
It is a... You can switch between third and first person, start in third. It is I would say like 95% vehicle combat game.
Okay.
With like sections of some levels that are on foot.
Gotcha.
And before I get into that, because I'll go over it a little more, so I finished it yesterday, I think, while Sammy was napping. Rest in peace, nap times. And then I did, let's see, it was getting kind of late. I think we were getting close to like, I think we did a bath last night, so I started the bath and I came back in the room and I'm like, you know what, let me start the PS5 or the PS4 version. And I banged that out by like 11:40 last night. Magical.
Nice.
So yeah, for those that don't know me personally, if I get a game on PlayStation, if I like the game enough, I will generally do both versions of it. PS4 and PS5 versions. And a lot of fun. It was a game from my childhood. I played it so much on Xbox original. I'm trying to remember. I hit points where I distinctly remember because they gave me nightmares as a kid, where I thought they were like impossible. And then I just cruised through them, you know what I mean? And I got to parts where I'm like, man, I can't believe I never got here as a kid. And then I got to other parts later on, I'm like, oh wait, I've played this part. So
yeah,
it's memories of funny thing.
What was I gonna say? I think I've had that. I've owned that since like, it's like one of the random games that came with I don't know if you remember, but the first Star Wars Battlefront game, I think if you like pre-ordered it from certain places, they would give you like a voucher for like some random classic Star Wars games. Because I remember getting, I think that I got like Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Ooh, Bounty Hunter.
And maybe something else. I haven't played like any of them, but it was like one of those random things, you know?
Yeah.
I need to try that one of these days.
Just going off that, the closest thing I can remember to something like that was, I think I bought, it must have been Darksiders on the 360, and it came with a code, like a slip in the case, and it was like, hey, if you like this game, go on our website, and for $5, we'll send you a copy of Red Faction Gorilla.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I definitely remember doing that one. Red Faction Gorilla, fun game.
It is fun. I feel like I enjoyed destroying shit more than actually doing what you're supposed to do, though.
The open world was kind of a mess because it was a big desert, and it's Mars, and it was kind of. I should go back to that. I feel like I could tackle that game now as a big boy.
I spent so much time just playing. Remember that game mode where the goal is literally just to like destroy as much shit, yeah. And there's different maps. Like I think I spent more time playing that than the story.
What was it? That's one of those games where
if you want to boost that one of these days, let me know because I'm pretty sure it's either an ultra rare or it's pretty close.
Listen, what are you on about? I had it on the 360.
Well, you know what? Nobody cares.
I'm trying to think. There was a band. I forget. I don't know if you've ever done this, but there are bands where I like really listen to like all their music, but I associate it with a game, and it wasn't It wasn't One Republic. It might have been. It might have been Yellow Card. I listened to yeah, I think it was. I listened to like a shitload of Yellow Card when I played Red Faction Guerrilla.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like I it's gonna maybe sound weird, but I literally gaming is so ingrained into like who I am that my memories are based on like what I was playing at the time. Like every major memory in my life, I can literally think back and be like, yeah, so I was playing freaking Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo at the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
and music's kind of the same way for me. Like there's literally times in my life and I know that hey, I listened to like all these songs like basically on repeat during that time in my life, or I was doing this specific thing and I listened to these songs. Like back in the day, my sister, she's 4 years older than I am. She got me into Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was
Ooh.
like 10, and I remember like listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers, like basically on repeat, playing specific games like I think like Donkey Kong on the Nintendo 64 and like just like some other random games.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like
There's
to kind of make a short story long,
yeah
you know?
more so than that for me. I feel like I can, and then I'll get back to Clone Wars. I can really equate like um which game console I had at the time, like which generation.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
there's some moments where it's like, all right, high school, I was playing Gears of War 2 and 3. I was playing, or no, not 3. 3 came out in college. A lot of Gears 2, a lot of Halo 3, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's really weird the things you like attach to a memory like that. Like I could go into GTA 5 because I had a setup when I was living at my parents when I was in high school where I had 2 CRT TVs and I was dual screening it, which is crazy to think about with CRTs.
Two
Back then,
CRTs. Damn, you must have been swole, dude.
dude, no, it was yeah. Um, one was like an ancient one, and one was like a less ancient one, but it was bigger.
Yeah.
But it was like I was playing GTA 4, and I could probably find the exact building, and I can remember looking at my other TV, and they were doing Mr. Garrison's sex change, where they were actually showing, I think, like sex change footage.
Jesus Christ.
Or some like a lot of surgical stuff going on. I could find the exact building. I for sure. It's literally burned in my mind. But anyway, back to Clone Wars. Yeah, Clone Wars is a like a third person or first person at vehicle combat game. It's a tie-in to the to episode 2 and tells like a side story within the Clone Wars. The characters look like the quote unquote look like the movie characters. I mean, and to be fair, even looking at today, I'm like, oh, they did a pretty good job. Like it's grainy and whatever now, but it's it
As
still
much
looks
as a PS2 game can look like the real characters.
it doesn't look terrible. It's pretty good. I did on the PS4 version though have a an issue where like the textures on the screen were freaking out and like staticking, and it was like changing color palettes. It was really weird, so I reset the game. Very, very fun game though. Highly recommend if you're a Star Wars fan. Let's not say highly. I recommend it. The controls are a little weird. The playing physically like on the ground as Mace Windu or Anakin is atrocious. Luckily, you only have to do it for like a few sequences. Very, very easy game. You only have to play on the easiest difficulty and just beat there's 16 levels, but some of them can be beat pretty quickly. I think in like 30 minutes I banged out the first 3. And there's the hardest achievement or well, I guess there's no achievements because I don't think they're on Xbox backwards compatible, but it's just the Xbox original versions. I think the hardest trophies would have been I'm trying to think because they're all pretty easy. You have to complete 30 bonus objectives, but they're pretty easy and straightforward. They're not crazy to do. Once you get those 30 bonus objectives, you get a trophy, and then you get access to a couple behind the scenes things, which is pretty cool. They had like a behind the scenes video on the game, and watching 2 of those or that and something else get you another trophy. I would say those are probably the hardest. I mean, the game's not inherently all that difficult. If you're playing the PS5 version, you have the rewind, so if you die, you can rewind a little bit. PS4 versions apparently don't have that rewind feature. Or at least for this
Probably
game.
not enough power.
Power to the players. But yeah, definitely give it a look. The both platinums are actually ultra rares. On PlayStation.
On the PlayStation app.
Yeah, that's
Don't mislead people.
Listen, PSN profiles is an opt-in. I'm going off the people. Not everyone does PSN profiles.
You're going off everybody who dips their toe into a game and then leaves 5 minutes later, which
That's
is
what
not
counts,
really
baby.
the best.
Listen, that's what. If they're gonna count that for sales, they're gonna count it for trophies. Okay?
I disagree.
You're a monster.
I only count.
You're a gatekeeper, Gary.
No, you're just trying to make your stuff sound better than it really is.
Listen, I got 2 ultra rares, Gary. Okay.
Okay. Whatever you gotta tell yourself.
Look at my PlayStation. It says ultra rares.
Yeah.
Look at my PlayStation. It says I got 2 ultra rares.
Ultra wares.
Ultra wares. That's what we're calling it now. Ultra wares.
These ultra wares.
Now, yeah. So it's
You've never seen these ultra wares.
You've never seen ultra rares like these ultra rares. In the same day too. I was doing the Trump impression with a couple of my friends, and I was doing it wrong. I think so. Like for the way that I do it, and I think the normal way, you have to like sort of end on a down note. When I was playing that game, like you gotta lean it down. I was doing it the other way. I was inflecting it up, and my friends were like, "Why are you doing Jerry Seinfeld?"
I was gonna say there is kind of a similarity, huh?
But yeah, so those I've literally just been playing those games over the course of the week. Pretty fun to go back and finally conquer them, since I didn't do it when I was a kid. The sequence that did you ever play them when you were younger? The clone. I think you said you got it right, or you owned it.
I didn't play when I was younger. No.
Okay. There's a sequence where there's like you're Anakin, you have to escape a prison, and there's a force harvester that's like these purple clouds emanating through the Kashyyyk forests. And I remember that stuff was giving me nightmares as a kid. Imagine speeder biking on an Xbox original or PS2 game through the woods, trying to escape a death cloud. It was not that great.
Sounds amazing.
Yep. And
that legit give you nightmares?
I mean, as a kid, probably not nightmares, but it was just like, this is so stressful. I'll never be able to beat this game.
Oh yeah, dude, I was a terrible gamer when I was a kid. I would only play shit if it had cheat codes. It was horrible.
Ooh, this one has cheat codes.
Ooh,
there you go.
Guess I'm playing it.
Get you in. And then the last thing about this game is I remember playing it a lot as a kid. I remember playing it at my stepdad's brother's house with his kids, so my cousins. And I distinctly remember that I would almost exclusively only play they had like a horde mode on and it was like, I think it's on the Thule Moon Training Academy, I think it's called. And you're just in vehicles doing the horde mode. The on foot horde mode is in the Geonosis Arena, which sucks. But the vehicle one, I play on the Thule Moon, and there was like a cave I would hide in to try to funnel the guys in. It was such a fun game. Very fun.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend if you like Star Wars, if you like the Clone Wars. Our friend in our Discord, Green Gorilla, he asked if it was tied to the TV shows. And I will post this at some point. I'm going to say, look, there's only one Clone Wars, and there's a right answer, if you know what I'm saying. And Gary, do you know what the right answer to what is the only Clone Wars animated show? You big Star Wars guy? I should probably start
like
there.
the OG movie or whatever.
No. That movie sucks. Also, that movie's just 3 episodes of the show.
I haven't seen the movie or the show, so
no, that movie's not good. So I think it's easily like the worst Star Wars movie. But it was just 3 episodes of the TV show that they cobbled together into a movie. The best Clone Wars animated, and more cultured of our audience will know this one. Do you remember when Revenge of the Sith was coming out, my boy Gary?
Yeah.
Do you recall? Were you a fan of Cartoon Network at the time?
What? Do you remember what year that was?
That would have been two. I want to. It definitely wasn't. I'll look it up. Hang on.
Because I watched Cartoon Network up until like maybe early teens, and then I fell off.
Let's see.
It was big when I was in like middle school.
2005 is when Revenge of the Sith came out. So let me see.
I never even like. I don't even think I even saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters.
Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so this series. Wow, it was.
I don't think I was watching Cartoon Network.
Must have started in 2003. There's a 2003 series, Gary, called Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It picks up after Episode 2, leads directly into Episode 3. Introduced us to General Grievous, all that fun stuff. Gary, it was made by the same gentleman. Hold on, let me see if I can find his name, and then I'll see if you recognize it. Gendy, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced this. Directed by Gendy Tartakovsky. Gary, do you know this gentleman?
Oh yeah, he did like Dexter's Laboratory and stuff like that.
Did he?
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what that
right.
name.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Gary, there's another prominent show. Oh, Dexter's Lab. Oh, that's so cool. Wait, which?
Dude, I love that show growing up.
Did he do the original or when they changed the animation? Because they did two animations.
He did the original. He did the original.
So good. Ah!
I know.
But Gary.
I think he did a few other Cartoon Network shows too.
Oh, he did, Gary. And aside from Dexter's Lab and Star Wars Clone Wars, have you heard of a little ditty called Samurai Jack?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
It's literally it's Star Wars in Samurai Jack animation.
A few years ago, I went back and watched all of that, including the new season, which actually like ends the show. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but fuck, like
I have the Blu-rays.
Like
I watched them.
Shit's emotional.
It was good. Yeah, it was.
It was really good. I need to get that collection on Blu-ray. It's so good.
Was there the only adult thing about it was just violent, right?
Yeah, there wasn't like any language or anything, you know.
Yeah, and there might have been like some implied nudity, but no like full frontal or nothing.
I love that show. Like when it first came out, I was like, dude, this is so cool. Like
the game's pretty good too. If you haven't tried the game,
is that the one that's like a mobile game or whatever?
No. There's a. Let's see. I have it
because there's a mobile game that was ported to consoles. Remember, friggin' Colin was talking about it a few years ago. He platinumed it or whatever.
Samurai Jack. Let me see the game. No, this is
Samurai Jack.
Wait. It was on the App Store. I don't think this was like a direct port. Let me see.
Pretty sure it
game
was.
developed by Japanese video game studio, Valhalla Studios.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Game serves as an alternate scenario that takes place during the show's final season. It's a canon of the series. Okay, so no, it wasn't a port. It was released on iOS, Mac, Apple Arcade.
If you're talking about Battle Through Time, that was originally a mobile game.
Oh, well, no, it was released on all of them at the same time.
Oh, well, either way.
No, but no, it's a fun game.
It's not what I heard.
It's not like I mean, it's not groundbreaking. It's like I'm trying to think. The closest
Use your
thing
words.
The closest thing I could equate it to is like, and not necessarily in quality either. They did that Avatar Legend of Korra game. I'm trying to think what kind of gameplay that is, where it's like you traverse a little area, do a little exploration, and then there's, you fight your enemies, and then you beat all of them, and then you keep traversing. Like, it's that kind of game.
Pretty much every type of show, movie, whatever tie-in ever.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like it's not AAA. It's a very competent AA game.
Okay.
I'm seeing 70s. Oh, the
hmm
PlayStation 4 one has a 67. The X one has
I'm not gonna lie.
75.
I'm not gonna lie though. If I went back and I rewatched the show, it'd probably make me want to play the
Oh,
game just so I could
I think that's when I went back to playing it. Let's see.
hmm
Destructoid's a little low, according to Wikipedia, at a 4.5. IGN, I think, is a little high at an 8. Nintendo seems to get it right away. I would say it's like a 7 out of 10. Yeah. If I had to, I'd give it that.
hmm
Good game. Good game. Fun. Hard. Fun. Your turn, Carrie. What have you been playing?
I so we're skipping Xbox. Didn't play any Xbox like you. Um, let's see. I'm looking through. I have an app because I'm a nerd and I track all my game time. So I'm literally just looking to see. So I started a game. So as I mentioned in the last podcast, I think I'm trying to quit trophy hunting. It's not started out going
Don't
kind of
do it.
well, and then I kind of fell off a little bit yesterday. But anyways, beginning of the week, I started a game on my Steam Deck called The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa, and it's basically like if Persona and River City Ransom had a love child.
Okay.
Um, because you're basically running around. It kind of has a similar combat system like River City Ransom. You're a high school student and you're like in a gang, and you run around. It's kind of like, you've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, right?
Let me tell you what. Yu Yu Hakusho is like one of my top 3 animes.
Okay, so that's a yes.
I.
And
There's a game like Yu Yu
like
Hakusho?
this. No. Well, it's
Oh,
I bring that up because they wear like the same like school outfits
Okay.
that they do, like those like colored like how Kuwabara has like a blue outfit and like Yurimishi has
I
a green.
love.
Like so they basically color code the like groups of enemies that you can fight, and they're like ranked by difficulty. Like the red ones are the hardest, the guys in the red school outfits, and like they have green ones and blue ones. And but anyways, your group is all they wear like the blue school outfits, but you run around. They give you zero direction. They kind of just like have you figure it out yourself
Mm-hmm.
because there's not really it so far. It's kind of a bare bones story, but you basically just go around. You're trying to like become like the best gang or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
With your group of friends. You can go to school every day and like you learn um there's like physics and all the different like random classes like English, literature, whatever. And from what I've played so far, I literally had to like look up and see like what the point of the game is because I was just like wandering aimlessly and kind of wasting in-game days. But you can go to the library and read, which basically like improves how many skill points you get when you go to classes or when you study at home. You fight dudes, like I said, it's kind of like River City Ransom. The fighting's a little janky, like it doesn't feel like super satisfying or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's serviceable. But yeah, I've only put I don't know maybe 2.5 hours in. I was kind of just playing it casually, like in bed, like before I went to sleep, just for because I'm like if I'm gonna get through my backlog, I gotta fucking get through my Steam backlog too. Um,
Listen,
but
Steam doesn't matter. They got fake
you know
achievements.
what?
They got fake
Don't be a
achievements.
hater. Don't be a
You're gonna
hater.
get your cards too? You're gonna trade your cards? Aren't the
I actually do like the cards. I'm not gonna lie. I
aren't the
wish
cards like the
I wish
achievements? Or you get a
no. That's a
card
whole
for
separate thing.
achievements? Is it?
You
Okay.
so they with the card system. Basically, certain games have cards, and you basically get card drops by in-game time, and it's random which cards you get. And there's basically specific cards for each game, and when you collect them all, you can craft a badge. And it
Okay.
shows up on your profile, and then you get like XP, which levels up your profile and stuff. It's a cool system. I kind of wish consoles would do it, honestly. Like that's one thing that I do really like about Steam that consoles don't have, aside from achievements. Like, yeah, they have Steam achievements, which I don't care as much about, but um, yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna try to keep chipping away at it just because it's not supposed to be very long. And it's an interesting concept, but it's not. I'm not gonna lie, it's not really holding my attention too well, just because when it comes to like games like that where they don't give you any direction, they expect you to figure it out. my ADHD brain. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm moving on to something else. But we'll see. I also put in quite a bit of time in a Yakuza Kiwami 2. I decided I need to go back and actually finish this game because as I mentioned probably in one of the previous podcasts, I've been trying to do a Yakuza game every other month. Like that's what I was doing last year. And then I got a little burnt out in November when I started Kiwami 2. I started this game 2 months ago, and I just got distracted by a bunch of other stuff. So over this past week, I put in like 9 hours, which is a good chunk. I'm kind of just focusing on the story right now. I think I have like 5 chapters left, and then I'm just doing random like side quests or sub stories as they call it as I go, because that's like a big draw in Yakuza games for me. The problem is, as I mentioned before, like the whole quitting trophy hunting thing. I actually have like I had Chat GPT create a 3-month trophy hunting quitting program for me because I was curious as like what it would do, and so I was following that. But whenever I play shit on PlayStation, like my brain, PlayStation to me is like it's so tied in with trophies that it's hard not to think about it when I'm playing on PlayStation. And like even if you I've tried turning off notifications, and it's still in the back of my mind. But I don't know. I keep telling myself I'm gonna quit, and then like I'll play something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I really enjoy earning trophies. I don't know what to do. Like
Just remember, quitting's for
story,
quitters.
story of my life. Anyways, so and then yesterday, what really kind of pushed me back over to the other side, my buddy came over, and we played Vampire Survivors. I finally started it on PS5. We literally played it for like 9.5 hours. And dude, that game is so fun and addicting. It's ridiculous. Like we just sat
What's
there.
Vampire Survivors?
You've played it on Xbox, dude.
That's what I thought. There's too many vampire games. That's what
That's
what I thought it was.
It's
Okay,
the one.
yeah.
It's the auto battler. Yeah,
Yep,
you run around and you just like
There's so many games with vampire in the title now. Like it's it's too much.
For a second, I thought you were being facetious. Like
no. I had like an inkling what it was.
Yeah,
because I think I was looking up the other day. I was looking up like I have it installed on my console. A Vampire. I've completed. I completed. There was like a vampire battle royale game, which was pretty fun on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that a while back. No, you wanted me to, but I was like, "F that noise."
Who did I play that with? I played it with. I know I hopped in there with someone from the. Skrillus was involved. No, he was involved. But it wasn't just him I was playing with, because he told me and some other guy about you have to basically get like X amount of downs with each weapon or each weapon class. And Skrillus was like, just do this, and it's like such a troll move, but you do it of course I would do it. You have to down someone, and then you like pepper them a little so their health's lower, and then when they get back up, as soon as they get up, you just down them again. And it's just such a dick thing to do, but at the same time, I'm like, I gotta get this
people
done.
off. Pissing people off. But we played that for like 9.5 hours, and I was waiting. It's super fun. It's super addicting. I started it on Steam back in like July of last year, and then when I found out it was coming to console, I decided just to wait, or coming to PS5. I mean, and I would have started it sooner, but two things. Like I wanted to finish Rotato first. I ended up doing all the stacks like I mentioned last week. Because they're kind of similar style of games. Rotato has like more customization with like your build. But I wanted to finish that first because then I could just focus on Vampire Survivors. And two, it has like 221 achievements. Like it's a fat list. It's basically like a base list with like 20 DLCs. But it's super fun. Like I bought the base. Well, actually, I got the base game for free technically because it was a reward on PlayStation Stars. I redeemed my points for it, and then I got, I think there's 2 DLCs, paid DLCs that have trophies or whatever. So I bought those on sale, and then he got the Castlevania and the Contra DLC, which is freaking sick. Like they have a bunch of like Castlevania characters pretty much all of the main ones, and it has all like the like banger Castlevania music. It's freaking awesome. So we were like basically jumping back and forth between like the main levels and like unlocking those, and then like we jump back into like the Castlevania level and try to like unlock another character and stuff. It's freaking hella fun. But there's a crap ton to do in that game, especially when you tack on the DLC. Like we were trying to focus on like fully upgrading weapons and stuff, because the weapons in the game, basically how it works is all the weapons in the game, you have to get to like their max level by just leveling up and choosing that as what you're going to upgrade. But then you also have to find another item. You have to have another item, and it basically combines them. And then if you find a chest, which drop from like boss enemies, there's a chance that it'll upgrade that item to its basically evolved state, which is like a much more powerful version of it. But you have to have that item first, and you can't even do that with all the weapons at first, because some of the items that you need to evolve it, you have to upgrade. You have to find first, like through like special levels or doing specific things. So the gameplay loop is just like really fun and addicting. Each run is like 30 minutes. But the nice thing is we just unlocked the there's like little gameplay modifiers that you can unlock as you go, that you can turn on before you start a level. Like we just unlocked the one for, it basically doubles the game time. So instead of a 30-minute level taking 30 minutes, it takes 15 minutes because time goes twice as fast, which makes it more enjoyable, because 30 minutes sometimes feels like it takes forever. But yeah, when you get to the end of a level, whether it be a 15 or 30-minute level, once you get to the end, all the enemies despawn, and basically the Grim Reaper or Death spawns. And if you have the correct build, you can kill him, but it requires like very specific things like time stop and some other stuff, so he can't hit you. But basically, once that happens, if you don't have the right stuff, he comes and kills you automatically. And then you unlock something called hyper mode for that level, and it basically makes you run like twice as fast. I think you get like more XP. Like it's basically like the only way to play those levels after you unlock it, because everything else just feels so slow. But it's super fun. Like the only problem is, like, since I don't have notifications turned off, it kind of like sucked me back in. Like trophy wise, like I kept constantly looking, like, because there's so many different lists. Like, oh yeah. What? Because you unlock the trophies at the end of a run, and they all pop or whatever, and they show like what you unlocked and stuff.
Feels so good.
And yeah, like in that 9.5 hour session, I unlocked like 31% of them. Like I think I have like almost half of the actual trophies now. But yeah, it's super fun. It's super addicting. I might even buy the other two
The Xbox
DLCs
version.
that I don't own. No. The other two DLCs that I don't have, because I think one of them is based on Among Us.
Okay.
It's called Emergency Meeting. They're like $2 each, and it's just like I wouldn't mind adding even more content, even if there's not like trophies for it, just because like the game's hella fun. But it's sick. Like the themed stuff too. There's like specific items based on like whatever theme you're playing. Like the Contra level, there's like specific Contra weapons. There's specific Contra power ups. Like you can unlock like the main like Contra guys to play as and stuff. It's sick. Like yeah, highly recommended for sure. Game's super cheap. I think it's like $5 or $6 brand new when it's not on sale.
Yeah.
All the DLCs are like $2.50.
It's on sale pretty frequently too, I think.
I think so too. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's been my week.
Awesome. And with that, let's dive into kind of a carryover from last week. We have a couple news stories we want to go over, but we figured in an effort to keep keep our promises. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it. We were gonna talk about our top 5 games from last year. And we'll just run through them pretty quick, I guess. At least I think I'll be able to. I'm just gonna rattle mine off real quick.
Didn't we do that on the last episode though?
Our top 5s
Of
last year?
we talking about games, or we talking about resolutions?
No, we didn't. Did we do top 5 games? I thought we did resolutions last year or last episode.
We did. Sorry, I misheard. My bad.
No, we're gonna do our top 5 games. Speaking of resolutions, though, it's what, almost 2 weeks into this year. Haven't bought a new game. Staying on that.
Hey, only 50 more weeks to go.
You know it. Asterisks. I technically have bought new games, but I didn't spend money. So, yeah.
He's a big phony, guys. He's a big fat.
What was it? I had like $1. I had like $2 in PlayStation credit.
$2 hairs.
$2 hairs in PlayStation credit. So I picked up Well, let me look at my. It's downloaded onto the Sweestum. Wavetail. It's like a cute looking platformer, cool art style.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's normally like $30. It was like $1.75.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used my Discover cash back to pick up what did I pick up? I picked up Blind Postman on PS5. Easy platinum. Nothing too hard. It's like a sliding. I always equate it to Pokemon Gold and Silver. It's like a sliding ice game puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy that. I played it on Xbox a couple times. I played it on. I think I did the PS4 version. No, I just picked up the PS5 version. And then I picked up the DLC for Forspoken because I have that on my shelf. And the DLC is normally
I didn't know there was DLC for that game.
Yeah, yep, $12. But it was on sale for like $3, so didn't spend any money technically. So.
Yay!
But as for my top 5 games of last year, I have just screenshots saved of them. I realized I didn't play too many new games last year, which was crazy. And I haven't finished a lot of the ones that I played.
Because you're a fake gamer.
Well, yeah. Let's see. I feel like the 2 that I have finished are just gonna, or I guess 3 technically that I finished. There'll be more at the top. God, I can't stop sniffing. Actually, I did. I think I did 4. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna rattle them off. These are the. I'll list them in order. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I played 8 new games last year.
Like new games, as in games that came out last year, or games that were new to you?
No. Games that came out last year.
Oh, I don't even think I played that many.
Yeah, it's. I find myself really enjoying just dipping into the backlog or just playing older games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
let me start with what would I say is my least favorite of the games? Yeah, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. I haven't finished it. It's every bit as much of a mess of a game as everyone says.
That's in your top 5?
No. I'm just rattling them all off. Because I've only got
new
8
games that you played.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this should be number 8, I guess. Yeah, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. I really enjoy the story. The premise I think is cool, but just the UI is a mess. There's too much going on. Mm-hmm. I don't like the live service stuff. They're implementing an online component, but you can play as Deathstroke now, so that's cool.
Nice.
And then after that, a game called Open Roads. What's her name? Felicity is in it. I forget her name. It's not
Felicity.
Cute. Yeah, the girl who played Felicity.
Felicity.
Carrie Russell, the actress. The show was called Felicity. Carrie Russell's in it. It's like
Oh, okay.
a mom and her daughter cleaning out their grandma's house after she dies, and they discover that there were some infidelities, and they go and they kind of track it down. It's like a walking sim kind of puzzly game. Very quick game. It was good. Good story. Nothing too crazy though. And then because it's a remaster, I'll put it next at number. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that was 7. So number 6, Shadows of the Damned, Hello Remastered. I love Shadows of the Damned. Very fun shooter with some very dirty humor. But it's a remaster, so I wouldn't put it higher than some newer games. But highly recommend Shadows of the Damned Remastered. Very fun little game. I think it was like $20 when it came out too, which is a very nice price point. Either 20 or 25. It plays kind of like the at least the gunplay is similar to like Resident Evil 4, like kind of tank control-y. But you got a gun named Johnson, or you got a demon torch named Johnson. You play as a bounty hunter named Garcia, and you're going to get your girlfriend back from basically the devil. She got captured by some demons. And Johnson transforms into guns, and the guns are variations on the word boner. So you get a fire one, and I think it's called like the hot boner or the spicy boner. And then there's a point where you go into like an adult district area, and there's these giants coming after you, and you have to essentially snipe them. But he holds the gun waist height at a certain area, and it becomes the big boner. And it's just a massively long barrel on a gun. And he goes,
"My 12-year-old self would have loved that."
Dude, it's so stupid, so funny. I love it. And then when he transforms into that, he goes, swing! And then he extends out and he goes, oh, now that's a big boner. Also, there's some nudity in the game, so always a positive. So that was 6. Let's get on to number 5, which I would put at Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Very fun little sports game. I completed the PS5 version. PS4 version still has some trophy issues. If you like Harry Potter, you'll probably like this. Yeah, very fun fake sports game.
Fake sports game.
Yeah, more content than I thought there'd be. There's a lot of maps. You earn. From what I remember, there's no microtransactions. Like, there's different currencies, but you earn them all pretty easily through just playing the game. So, big points there. And the Platinum's name is You're a Wizard, Harry. So, can't go wrong there.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Then
You gotta say it like him.
Well, you don't even. First of all, he's dead, so I don't want to sully his performance.
You're not sullying it. You're paying homage.
Soiled it.
I'll soil you.
What's my next one? Then I would go with. I haven't finished it, so I'll put it here. Number 4, I'll do Life is Strange Double Exposure. I'm like halfway through episode 2. I'm gonna go back to it. I think it's my next Xbox game I'm gonna play. Very fun game. If you like the Life is Strange games, you're probably gonna like this. I think we've talked about it on the last incarnation of these podcasts we've been doing. You can find them on the Platinum Achievements YouTube channel or on my personal YouTube channel, The Smackerly. But they gloss over a few things depending on some choices you made that you might not like in regards to Chloe and Max's relationship. But those weren't the choices I made, so I was perfectly fine with them. And honestly, this could be higher. But there's a Kitty Cat DLC that's like $20. That's in the Ultimate Edition, but otherwise you have to buy it. And it's like 60 gamer score. That was their day one. So pretty baloney, Square Enix. Pretty baloney. Next up, I'll do Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm only in the Vatican. I dipped into it a little, but I absolutely loved what I played, and I can't wait to go back. Hot take, I enjoyed Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I don't care what anyone says. It's a good movie. That's the newest one. And number 2, I'll give it to Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I think we talked about it last week, but I enjoyed it more than Gary. Some would say I'm a little more cultured, but you know,
Hey, whatever you got to tell yourself, you know.
yeah. And yeah, I enjoyed the follow up. I don't need more. I think this is enough. Let Ninja Theory go and do something else, because I mean they have the engine and the technology to make some beautiful looking games. But then they also have the engine and the technology to make things like Bleeding Edge, which I thought was an okay game. It was an okay little side project. I don't know if you played that one.
Which one?
Bleeding Edge. I think it was on Game Pass.
No, I did not.
It's okay. It's like an okay like third person kind of Overwatchy kind of game, arena. Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's nothing crazy good, but and then of course number 1 is gonna be Astrobot. I don't think that's any surprise really. And
I
loved
didn't expect that at all.
I loved Astrobot. It's one of Sammy's favorite games. But I have him playing Astro's Playroom because it's less storage space on my PlayStation. And then when we need him to just sit still and calm down, we just throw some Astrobot on the TV from YouTube.
There you go.
That's it. That's
Very
all.
nice.
Those are my games from last year.
All right. I did a top 5. I did a few honorable mentions. I just did top 5 games that I played. I didn't do new ones.
You're one of those kids.
Which
Don't listen to the rules.
Which is what I understood as the assignment. So that's what I'm going with. I guess I'll list it in reverse order. I kind of put this ranked from least favorite to most favorite, but I don't know. We'll see. Number 5 would be Yakuza 5. As I mentioned before, I went on a Yakuza binge last year, and I did like 5 or 6 Yakuza games. It was a lot. 5 is probably my second favorite Yakuza game. There's just a lot. Like, it's a big game. They fleshed out a lot of stuff. You literally play as 5 different characters. And they all have one. I think the thing I like the most is they each have like their own city you play in. They each have like their own like focused mini game that could literally be like its own like standalone game. Like one of the characters has like a hunting like side, they call them side stories, and basically you have to go, and it has like all of its own game mechanics. Like you actually have to like, there's traps that you can place, there's different types of guns you can use. You actually have like, because it's in the snow, you actually have like a little bar that goes down when you get like too cold that you have to like refill by like eating or like going and like building little huts to like stay in and stuff. It's crazy. But there's a lot of like fun little side stories in that each character has, like I mentioned. It's just a beefy game. The only thing I didn't like is that there's a crap ton of like, I call them random battles. They're kind of random. I mean, you see the guys ahead of time, but a lot of the cities in that, they make the streets super narrow, so you can't like avoid them like you can normally in other games. But there's just a lot of fights, and it got a little bit old because you like turn the corner and they'd be right there, and you can't avoid them, which is pretty annoying. But that's my number 5. Number 4 would be Alan Wake 2.
Ooh, okay.
Super good game. I enjoyed the first one, but there's a lot of jank. Second one just felt like a proper survival horror game to me. It's like it kind of almost felt like akin to the. I mean, I say this, but I haven't even played them. But like the newer RE remake games, like the remade games, they kind of have like the same almost gameplay style as like RE4 and stuff like that. It scared the kind of honestly. There was parts that scared that shit out of me. Like the first one, I didn't find that scary. It was just kind of like a little bit creepy. But first one, I literally, yeah, call me a puss. But there was times where I would only play for a few hours because it would stress me out. Like it kind of would be draining, especially like the parts when you're like running through like the forest and shit, and you can't see any enemies. Like it's just hella dark. Like, or in Allen sections, because those creepy shadows, you don't know which ones are gonna attack you and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was super good though. I still need to play the DLC. Um, apparently it's pretty solid. So
I didn't realize
no,
I did one of the DLC episodes in the actual. I didn't realize they incorporated the DLC into the actual
yeah,
game.
yeah, I heard that the physical one did that since it's all inclusive now, which is cool.
Mm.
Um, number 3 would be the Dead Space remake. Super good game. I kind of had this similar problem as Alan Wake at first, where um, it's pretty fucking scary. Like they make the necromorphs even fucking more terrifying than they were in the original because of obviously the technology now, but they also make them more just um what do you call it? Unpredictable because they can go through vents at any time. Like if you take too long to get through an area, sometimes they'll just randomly make them come through vents to like keep you on your toes. But it was super fun. And honestly, like I played through. I'm glad I made the decision to, but I played through on Impossible on my first run, and it wasn't that bad at all. Because it's basically just hard mode, but you have limited saves, and then I think it's kind of like permadeath, basically, where if you die, you I think it either just kicks you out to your last save, or I can't remember if it like reverts the difficulty down or whatever. But what I did is whenever I was in a death animation, I just quit out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't that big of a deal, and I would just back up my saves every now and then. But super fun, super satisfying. Platinum 2. Um, number 2 would be Yakuza 0. That's even after playing everything that I've played up till now. Yakuza 0 is my favorite one. Just super good. Really good story. You play as the main character, but like 20 years prior, so he's like young and more impulsive. He's not like level-headed like he is now. And then you basically jump back and forth between him and one of the other major characters in these games, Majima, and you kind of see his like how he became how he is now, which is really cool. But there's a lot of like cool mini games, like running a cabaret or running like a real estate, like a business. So really satisfying combat, and it's just overall, it's kind of like the whole package for me. And then kind of like your number one, Astrobot. Like for me, it didn't even come close. Astrobot's like easily my game of the year. Um, we've already talked to death about it, but it's just I don't know. It just feels like a love letter to the genre. Like, and I feel like the people who talk shit about it haven't played it because everybody that I've talked to that has played it pretty much agree. Maybe not necessarily their game of the year, but just one of the best 3D platformers in a long time. So
Yeah,
really
definitely.
good. Hidden. Um, honorable mentions, real quick, would be the Hidden Cats games.
I forgot I played that this
Uh,
year.
there's there's such fun little like just like find-a-thon. I call it a find-a-thon. It's
Mm-hmm.
like Where's Waldo style gameplay. You basically there's these black and white pictures. Each depending on which one you play, it's themed either based on a specific like city or like Christmas or Halloween or whatever. But it's super fun. I basically ended up buying them all on sale after playing like one or two of them. Plus, it's something that my girlfriend likes doing too, so I kind of get her in on it. Um, Crow Country, it's like a little indie survival horror game that feels very like a throwback to like the classic survival horrors like the OG Resident Evil and stuff like that. The art style feels very like PS1, which is cool.
Dude, aside from
Um,
Hidden Cats in London, they all came out this year.
really?
New York,
You mean last
Paris,
year?
Rome, or last year, yeah. New York
Yeah.
was April,
Damn.
June was Paris, July was
I
Rome,
didn't
Berlin
I
was
didn't know that.
September, Spooky Town was October, and then yeah, Santa's Realm.
Dang, okay. Interesting.
Great games.
Um But yeah, Crow Country. If you haven't played it, play it. If you like survival horror, it's really good. Brotato. I kind of brought that up earlier. It's similar to Vampire Survivors, where it's basically like I call them like auto battlers. I don't really know what the actual term for it is, but where you basically you control the movement of your character, but they auto attack, and you just go through like waves of enemies and just pick specific upgrades based on like the build that you want. I really like Brotato though because there's a ton of different characters to play as, and it basically forces you to kind of play a completely different way for each character style. Like there's like one character that can't buy anything from the shop. He can only steal from the shop. But when he steals something, the higher value item he steals, the higher percentage you have of like spawning a boss, like a mini boss on the next round. So it's kind of like risk versus reward. Like each character build has like their own like specific style that you have to follow, and it's cool because it, like I said, it just kind of forces you to play different in every run. So, and then final honorable mention, real quick, is Plucky Squire. I think I talked about that in one of the previous episodes, but love the art style. I thought it was a really fun game. I followed like a little, like not like a walkthrough, but it was like a little like trophy, like what would you call it? I guess like a little guideline thing where he'd basically just call out, "Hey, when you want to look for this. This is you want to grind in this area so you don't miss out on this." Because a lot of people were saying that some of this like collectibles and stuff are still kind of glitchy. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna follow this. I'm not like following a guide for my entire playthrough. This is kind of just to keep me on track and so I don't forget anything. And that made it just way more enjoyable. So, yeah, those are my top games of the year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. So now, let's dive into. I posted a couple of news stories. Some of them are pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just we'll just talk about them a little bit, and then we'll do our viewer question, which I'm trying to remember. I'll have to find the viewer question. I think you sent it to me.
I'll look it up. It's Max.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
And
posted it.
yeah, if you wanna leave a question, just leave a comment on the YouTube video, or we're on I think Spotify and maybe let me see, where are we at? We're on Spotify. We should be on Amazon Music as well if you're listening there, and then we're gonna try to get on Apple Music soon. I think is what it's called. One of the guys was asking about that if it's on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how those platforms work, so Spotify. Yeah. Well, we're living and we're learning, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gotta get my oil done after this. So yeah, just leave a comment and we will answer your questions when we can. Honestly, we might just do the news stories and then we'll save the topic that we're gonna do for maybe next week.
Yeah, but we definitely gotta answer Max's question on this episode. We can't keep pushing it back.
I mean, this is our show. We do what we want.
Yeah, but people aren't gonna want to ask questions if we never answer them.
Well, that's half the fun. You don't know if you're gonna get answered.
I don't know about that.
All right. First news story comes from True Achievements. Sean Carey. Xbox Developer Direct returns this month with new game from a mystery studio. So the Developer Direct is going to showcase a few different games, including man, let's see. It is including Doom: The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which I'm probably most excited for out of those three, as well as a super secret surprise game that will be held on the 23rd. So we have next week, and then we have the. Does it say what day it is? 23rd. January 23rd. Let me see. It's gonna be a Thursday. Okay. It's not next Thursday, but it's the Thursday after. And like I said, really excited for Expedition 33. South of Midnight looks pretty cool. Doom the Dark Ages, I'm not super sold on, just
I
because
think it looks sick.
I think it looks sick. I love the first remake Doom. I didn't play Doom Eternal because I heard it's a lot. I heard, what was it? Who did it? Machine Games, right?
I don't remember, but the Eternal's really good too. You kind of just have to learn how to play differently.
Is it Machine Games?
I don't
No.
think
It's
so.
it's
Isn't
software.
Machine Games is like Wolfenstein, isn't it?
Wolfenstein, yeah. But
Yeah, it's a
it's all
different.
Bethesda, I think is.
Yeah.
But they followed in the footsteps of Wolfenstein 2, where I guess they made the second one a lot harder to complete. Trophy and achievement wise, and it looked really fast paced, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep up with this. So I might play it.
Wow.
It's
Fake gamer. Fake
listen, come talk to me when you don't buy your trophies and achievements, okay?
gamer.
South of Midnight looks cool. Fun art style. And yeah, like I said, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is probably one of my most anticipated games for the year. But Gary, what do you think that mystery studio / game is going to be? I'll let you go first because I'm shooting for the moon here, and I have an inkling of what it could be, just based off timing and what we know some studios are sort of working on and sort of kind of have hinted at. But you go first.
Let me see. That's a good question. Shit, I don't know. It could be like a completely new IP. It could be a sequel to something. Like it's I don't honestly know. Like I don't have any like good I don't have any good conjecture.
Give me your pie in the sky. Like if you could pie in the sky that
dude,
could be possible, I guess.
I mean, if I never beat it, but I just won it on PlayStation. If they released a sequel to Sunset Overdrive with like
Ooh.
a port for the first one
Well,
over to
Insomniac owns them now, so it wouldn't show up here.
yeah, I guess not, but that's my I don't know.
All right.
That's kind of what I want. I think that's just like a pipe dream, but
It was a softball and you missed it. It's fine.
mhm.
No, yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, it didn't. Sunset Overdrive. I think, if I remember correctly, it literally only made $50, like after like of pure revenue. I think it recouped its costs, and then I think that was what I'd heard from some podcast. I forget what it was.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can find that actually. How much did I love Sunset Overdrive though.
Yeah, I still need to go back and actually like properly play through it. I've only put like a few hours in. That was back when it came out.
I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where I heard that. That's wrong though. But I'm also grabbing this from.
Yeah, I was
Steam
like, that
revenue.
doesn't sound right. $50. I was like, that would have like put the company under.
Well, this is at least just from Steam. We estimate that Sunset Overdrive made just shy of $10 million in gross revenue. Developer estimated net revenue of just shy of $3 million.
Mhm.
Oh, here. Well, it's a Reddit. 567 profit. I don't know. I'm gonna track this one down. Where are they getting this from? Insider Gaming. From 2023, Grant Taylor Hill. Sunset Overdrive made Insomniac just 567 in profit. That doesn't seem right, but it was a leak from a ransomware attack. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it was coming out on the Don Matrix like fumbling of the Xbox One. But what I'm kind of hoping, Gary, and I think it would be pretty sweet, if a little purple dragon was coming back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because Toys for Bob,
Dude, I would love for Barney to get his own game.
Oh, he's a dinosaur, first of all. And also, I'm pretty sure Barney's got some games. Nice pull, though. That's ancient. I don't even know if Barney's still around.
Oh, he probably isn't. I don't know.
I think Yeah, I'm gonna shoot my shot and say Spyro. Because Toys for Bob is still in some sort of partnership with Microsoft, even though they were part of Microsoft for like a hot minute, and then they got closed, but then got reopened. Something weird happened there, but they're still a studio. They also said they're still having some sort of relationship with Microsoft, working on a game for them, and they changed their logo at one point to just be purple. So, and that was a few years ago.
Interesting.
So, I'm gonna shoot my shot and say it's Spyro 4 because they did the remake trilogy, right?
Yeah, but isn't there's more than just 3 Spyro games? Why would it be 4?
Because I don't think there has been more, but I don't.
Are they going to pretend like the other ones don't exist?
I played one of the ones with Elijah Wood. It wasn't bad. I think they would call it 4 just to keep it in line with this core trilogy. I mean, the other ones didn't necessarily do great. But
I mean, I guess I could see that.
The Spyro the Reignited trilogy was so good. I played it on both Xbox and PlayStation. Phenomenal trilogy. I never played the first one when I was a kid. Only the second and third.
I played a demo of the first one, and I thought it was freaking the shit.
It was so good. Did you play the Reignited trilogy?
I platinumed the first one on one of my previous accounts. I still need to go through and do it again and play the second and third.
So good. But yeah, so that's what I think the developer direct will be on January 23rd. Maybe we'll hear more leading up to it, and we can report back next week. Now, Gary, on to some more exciting news. Also coming from True Achievements, Tom West. Wallace and Gromit are heading to Xbox Game Pass darling Power Wash Simulator as its next DLC pack. Gary, a little Wally and Grom. I'll be honest, I never liked Wallace and Gromit. The art style scares me.
Why?
I don't know. Just the claymated art style with the big teeth. Just unsettling to me. Almost as unsettling as the animation for Cuphead. But
I was just gonna say, you and your animation
scares me.
Phobia.
But I did come around to Wallace and Gromit. At least the animations. I also did not like Chicken Run. I think that's what did it for me.
Oh.
Chicken Run, I was not a fan of as a child. And I don't know, I think there were some scurry bits in there that stuck with me that I haven't unpacked yet. But I did really like, and we got to see it early a couple years ago. Many moons ago. When I was going to early screenings of movies, we saw a movie called Early Man, and it's made by the same animation studio. And it's like the origin of soccer with cavemen. And it was pretty good.
Interesting.
It was pretty good.
Huh. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, I'm getting a text from my wife. Oh man. Gary's gone. I'm trying to see does this have a? I'm trying to see if it has a release date. Work on a Britain suburbs. Coming soon. Crap.
Okay, I'm back.
I can't get the DLC either though because I can't spend no monies.
This guy.
How much? I think they're like $7 a piece.
But technically, you're not adding to your backlog if you buy DLC.
I'm spending money on games, Gary. These loopholes you're trying to finagle me into. I won't fall for it.
Give it time.
Honestly, I think by the time this comes out, I might have enough in Microsoft monies to be squared away.
Microsoft monies.
Yep. The cashback loop on my Discover card is a great loophole that I will be exploiting. So yeah.
You do
do you Power Wash Simulate?
No, one of these days I'll start it.
It's very fun.
But I have 7 games going on.
Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. They fixed it on PlayStation We can co-op it.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, the challenge modes are pretty tough.
Yeah, not looking forward to that.
Those are very nerve-wracking, but
That and a
possible.
couple guys were kind of complaining in the other Discord about like the length of some of the levels.
Oh,
And I'm
some
like,
of the
ugh.
levels. Well, first of all, if you're doing them solo, some of the levels are absolutely brutal. But if you're co-oping,
Yeah.
it's half the time, in theory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I wish they would just make those challenge levels a smidge easier.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll finish off the. I guess it's Xbox news, but kind of PlayStation as well. Also coming from True Achievements, Sean Carey. One of these days we'll get other sources. I looked on I think Push Square, and I didn't see anything trophy related. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really True Achievements and True Trophies are kind of like the best sources for trophy related stuff. Viral horror game gets surprise Xbox release with Easy Gamer Score. Oh man, what a burp! Slash hiccup with Easy Gamer Score. And it's the psychological horror walking sim, The Exit 8. Just released, and it's supposed to be pretty easy. Supposed to be pretty easy. It's only $4.
Sweet.
Did you play this on either system?
I did not.
I didn't either. So, just a little announcement for ya. And then, all right, let's go over to the True Trophy side. Marvel Rivals Season 1 adds Fantastic Four, but no new trophies. Shocking, I guess. No new trophies for extra characters, it looks like. If this trend is to continue. And by trend, I mean single instance. Have you been playing Marvel Rivals, aka Overwatch 3?
No. I saw that trophy list and I'm like, yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, I liked Overwatch. And this looks
I,
exactly like Overwatch to me, just with Marvel characters.
yeah.
I
I enjoyed it too, but it's freaking hard.
Aside from the movies and most of the movies and some of the cartoons, I'm not a huge Marvel guy. I like DC
Blasphemy.
better.
Blasphemy.
It's all. It's literally just what did you watch when you were a kid, which is ironic because I love the X-Men stuff and the Spider-Man stuff. I just don't care about Marvel overall.
Mm-hmm.
But now DC's pretty swell.
All I'm really hearing right now is that I'm a giant hater.
Listen, if I wanted to be a giant hater, I'd bring up how Old Man Cap and the rest of the Endgame conclusion makes no sense. But whatever.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video that explains how it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure, and they probably omit a lot of facts. Here, let me hop on my soapbox real quick. You've seen Endgame? This is gonna get some great response. You've seen Endgame?
Mm-hmm.
How does Captain America get old and show up there if he doesn't come back on the teleportation pad? It doesn't make sense. Every other time they come back, they have to come back on that pad. He can just show up in the timeline. You can't change the past. Bruce Banner said so.
Some of that Marvel magic.
Probably. You can't change the past. Bruce Banner said so. It's a rule in the movie. And then also, since you can't change the past, even though they took those stones out of those certain spots, when Captain America brings those stones back, you can't change the past, so the past doesn't change. So now he's just bringing double stones back? Come on. Gets under my skin.
Clearly.
A little bit.
Very, very passionate about it.
I've gotten some responses. I really don't care that much. It just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Gary, this last one's for you. Like a dragon pirate yakuza in Hawaii's cruise. Wait, hold on. I read the title like a sentence. Like a dragon pirate yakuza in Hawaii's cruise may offer wacky trophy. This is from True Achievements from Jamie Sharp. Actually, did I say who the last story was from? Last story was from also Jamie Sharp. So, I just threw this in here for you. You want to explain it?
This game's going to be sick.
Yeah.
Basically, well, the game itself, you literally play as what I mentioned earlier in the podcast in Yakuza 0. You play as one of the other like beloved characters in the games, Majima. So this is a complete spin-off with him. You literally play as a pirate with a crew, and you can sail around Black Flag style.
Ooh.
And like recruit
Another quadruple
people,
A game.
and yeah, and it
Ubisoft.
has basically all the same shit that Yakuza games are known for. You know, it's gonna have all the sick ass, weird sub stories. It's gonna have that that sick combat. I mean, he has a very different combat style than the other characters in the series too, so that's gonna make it more interesting too. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's like if Black Flag and Yakuza had a baby, which is gonna be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? That there's a wacky trophy? Is it just because you can pull all these different characters from different like timelines in like a dragon?
I think they're just saying because you've never been able to do crazy like it's such a um the fact that you can like sail is just gonna basically expand what you'll be able to do in the trophy list. I think like obviously that's quite a departure from just being in a city the entire time and only being able to do stuff in a city. They probably think that there's gonna be stuff tied to that. You know?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Also, weird side note. I since I made a new YouTube channel for the Platinum Achievements channel, there's some weird new rules for YouTube where I can't put links into the descriptions until I do some weird extra stuff. So that will be coming. I don't know if all these links will be there at posting, but it's weird rules like make a 6-second video, and I'm like, what? Like it's things that I do not remember having to do the last time.
Interesting.
Very weird. And then let me go
Cray.
Okay, you have the viewer question here. We'll move on to viewer questions, and then we'll do one last secret topic, and then we will say our goodbyes. Our buddy Maximum Carnage asks us, how do your gaming goals for this year compare to last year's gaming goals? He goes on to say, last year I was going to play 3 games on rotation each month until Platinum/100%, but it didn't work out like that at all. This year I'm staying in my backlog, but allowing myself to jump around in order to keep gaming fun. Completion percentage be damned. First of all, it's blasphemy. Completion percentage is everything. Stop listening.
Spoken like a true believer in non-fun.
Non-fun is fun. You know what I'm saying? Get up, go to work. Non-fun.
Mm-hmm.
How are my gaming goals differentiated? I'd say really the only thing this year, I mean, they're pretty much the same as last year with trying to not spend more money on games and trying to stay in the backlog. This year I'm trying to be a little more militant about it. With not spending money on games outside of just having like the services. I'm trying to also kind of not so much with PlayStation Plus, because the cloud storage and the online play and all that stuff, and the free games kind of justify it there. At least on the Xbox side with Game Pass, I'm trying to do... My original thought process was to do at least one game every month from Game Pass, but now I'm looking at it more... Figure out how much I'll owe for the year on Game Pass, which would probably be around... Let's call it $250. And I just need to play $250 worth of games at some point throughout the year to justify it.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I mean, that's only like, what, 4 AAAs?
Yeah, so like, and I mean with the stuff coming out, I think, like, for example, I think the Clair Obscure Expedition 33, I think that's going to be on Game Pass, I believe they said. I'll be playing that there. Indiana Jones, I'm going to get to at some point this year. I want to play, I mean, aside from, like, there's also Power Wash Simulator, which, you know, I'll probably play that at some point this year. The Curious Case of Benedict Fox looked really cool. I never got around to playing. Harold Halibut looked really cool and I never got around to playing. I mean, Doom will be on there. Doom Eternal is on there if I want to try that.
Doom Eternal's good. You should try it.
I think my next quote-unquote Game Pass game, I'll probably finish Carry On, which is I own it because it came off of Game Pass and then they literally just put it back on, but it'll still get me Game Pass reward points. Yeah. Where you're like the blob monster in the horror movies going through a space facility And instead of the good guys trying to take out the monster, you're the bad guy just like roping them in and growing bigger and bigger. So
Carry on my wayward son.
I love Supernatural.
Hell yeah. I love that's where you went with that, because
The only
that's
place to
exactly
go.
what I think of
What am I gonna say?
every
Kansas? Come on.
every time I think of that song, I think of that show.
Look, Supernatural, solid first 5 seasons. Then the next 5 were kind of weird, and then the final 5,
Yeah.
I thought they pulled it back pretty good.
Yeah, first 5 seasons are like an 8.5, 9 out of 10, and then it drops to like a 6.
Yeah,
But then it
I
kind
would
of
say
gets
that.
better again. I think the whole series averages at about a 7, 7.5.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you like? We won't spoil it, but how'd you like the ending? I thought it was damn near. I thought it was.
Dude, it was good.
for the
it
for the
made me-
situation they found themselves in. Like, 'cause
yeah,
it was supposed to be different. Just
yeah.
how it ends. I was like,
I got
this
emotional.
is how it should have
I ain't
ended.
gonna lie.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was like,
I got emotional. Yep.
people were mad that some things happened. And I'm like, well, this was the life they led. This was, and they knew this for years and years. They would say it. They're like, this is how
Yeah.
they're going out.
What did you expect to happen? You know.
Speaking
Leave it
of
at
speaking of
that. I
show
don't-
endings, did you like the How I Met Your Mother ending? Did you watch How I
Like
Met Your Mother?
the OG How I Met Your Mother, right? Not the newer one.
Well, that's How I Met Your Father.
Just making sure.
Also, I don't
Some
think that
people might
has a
like-
technical ending, right? Because it just got canceled.
Oh yeah. I don't honestly, I barely remember the ending, but I don't really remember having a strong opinion about it. That is one of my favorite shows, though. I love
How
that
I Met
show.
Your Mother. So good.
Yeah.
The ending I thought was, I mean, it's old enough where I think we can spoil it. At least part of it. It turns out that, first of all, incredible that it never got spoiled. That they had Henry, I think his name's Henry David, and the girl. They filmed the ending back in like season 1 or 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just kept a hold of it. But it basically, the whole story, they boil it down to, the story is him trying to justify to his kids that he wants to date Robin again now that he's older, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous," blah blah blah, like flipping tables, and I'm just like, guys, like, this was the story the whole time. Like, if you couldn't tell
Mhm.
that, because if this wasn't the story, why did we just start with him meeting Robin instead of just start at the beginning with him meeting Marshall? If he's meeting all his friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like the ending. It was sad, but it was somewhat, unfortunately, realistic. And then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it makes sense that he was telling the story subconsciously to kind of justify that he wants to date Robin now.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Okay, wait, I know how we got here.
Viewer question.
Yes,
We gotta reel it back.
I do know how we got here. So yeah, my goals for this year: justify the subscription services, don't spend, or try not to spend any money on actual games themselves, tackle the backlog, which of both games, books, and movies, which I've been doing pretty good this year. I already did 2 books. They were comic books, but whatever. Oh, I read Robot Dreams yesterday, Gary. Or it's no words, it's all pictures, right? But it's a graphic novel.
Mhm.
Very, very different than the movie.
In a good or a bad way?
I'd say the movie's better. It fleshes things out better.
Mm-hmm.
The dog just kind of seems like more of just a bad friend that just kind of like gives up on Robot instead of trying to get Robot back.
Okay.
And there's no like, at least I took it from the movie. There's like kind of sexual undertones. Like they're kind of in a relationship-ish kind of thing, even though it's never really shown. This is literally.
I always viewed it as just friends in the show. And
See, I would have too, but there was a very heavy emphasis on them like trying to hold hands, and dog wanting to get Robot after seeing like a couple on a couch like snuggling.
you don't hold hands with all your male friends.
I'm not allowed to.
Are you? Come on, man. The bros need hand holding too.
Listen, I can't kiss the bros at night. Also, I've got no bros
You
near
gotta-
me. What we do is we cut off our hands, right? And then we ship them to Kansas.
Mhm.
And then we have an ally there just join them together for a hot second. But then he'll mix up the hands, sending them back, and then we can't put our other hands. Well, we could attach the hands onto each other, and then
Then we're gonna have 2 mismatched hands, and it's gonna be a hot mess.
And you can't handle my Latino blood, you know.
So Latino.
Yep.
The whitest Latino I know.
Of the European persuasion, Italian.
Italian.
Dude, the fun last bit, because we're talking about Italians now. My sister.
Here we go.
We were meeting. We went to my sister's for like my mom's birthday. We did like a brunch, and my sister, like, I don't know how serious she is about this. She complains that our family has no culture, that we're just white mutts. And I'm just like, the hell's wrong with you? Like, white people, we don't have culture. I'm like, even the Italians we know have garbage Italian culture compared to actual Italian culture. And then she lays it on pretty thick. Is she half Italian? She's half Italian, but she's like, all the time, Maron. Like an old Italian woman. Like, my grandma gets away with it. She's full blown. But like, you need to calm down here. Complain about your lack of culture.
It sounds like she's just bored and she's just trying to find problems where there aren't any.
She's very bored.
Yeah.
Oh,
that white privilege.
Oh, that white privilege. It reminds me so much of the Civil War movie. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
There's the guy in there. You remember the guy that shot the kid?
I don't remember. I haven't seen that show in forever.
There's like they did like the train heist, and then a kid sees him, and the guy that kind of looks like Matt Damon shot him.
Yeah.
He's in Civil War, and there's a moment where the press people are like being held at gunpoint by like a military militia type force, and he's just like they're like, dude, calm down, we're American. He's like holding his gun, he like scratches it, he's like, okay, yeah, but what kind of American? And I'm like, oh,
wow.
The movie's really good, and I think it does a really good job of not, because the separatist forces in the movie, to bring it back full circle before we get into your gaming goals. The separatist forces are Florida, Texas, and California, and they don't really paint it as like one side's like this political belief or this side's this political belief, which I think is really smart. So, very, very fun. I enjoyed it. Highly recommend. It won't make you cry like Robot Dreams. But Gary, your turn to answer Max's question before we round this out and head on home.
Kind of like you. Mine are kind of the same as last year. I keep telling myself I'm gonna quit trophy hunting, but who knows at this point? I feel like I'm
telling you, just do it for
it's
fun.
Like it's like a drug. I'm like a drug addict. I'm just like, yeah, I need to quit. I was talking to Colin, Skrillis, and Josh on Friday night in the party chat, and I was kind of talking about this, and
I miss when I could join those.
Yeah, I know. It's a good time in there. It's a good time in there. But I'm like, I don't know. I keep telling myself I want to quit because for me, like, I just feel obligated when I have an all or nothing mindset. So either I'm all in or I'm all out. Like, and when I'm all in,
how's that work at
I don't
buffets?
play anything. I don't play what?
How's that work at buffets? Like, do you just go for the whole buffet?
Yeah, I just get everything, and then I waste half my food. Yeah, because I don't know. I have so much other shit that I want to play that doesn't have trophies, but I'm like, well, it doesn't have trophies, or whatever. I guess I'm not gonna play it. Like, and I don't know. I either need to accept that fact, force myself to play those, even if they don't, or I don't know, whatever. But that's the problem. Is I was doing good first half of the week. And now I'm like, after unlocking all those trophies and Vampire Survivors, I'm like, oh, the itch is coming back. I don't know. Anyways, super derailed there for a second, but kind of similar gaming goals. Like, I'm trying not to spend hella money. I didn't spend a ton on games last year, honestly, so I think I did pretty good. But if I do decide to continue trophy hunting, I do want to get my completion percentage up to like 90. Or as close as possible. Problem is, I get distracted all the time.
I'll set you straight.
Will you though? You're the one who always wants me to start a bunch of shit.
That's not true. That's not true. I tried apparently unsuccessfully so far. To get you to play a very nice, fun old game to help me with my trophies, and that just hasn't come to fruition.
I can hear the salt.
The game's called A Way Out,
Here.
and Amanda can't handle it.
Mm.
And also, you said it could be done in like 2 hours.
It's because she's looking for a way out, and she doesn't want you to know.
Aren't we all looking for a way out, really?
Yeah. So I don't know. They're kind of just the same as yours. Maybe quit trophy hunting, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just a confused little boy.
Listen, you don't. I know you had concerns about quitting trophy hunting because you're like, can I still do the podcast? You can still do the podcast. It's fine as long as you play games and you got stuff to talk about and can bounce off me and stuff like that. But what I would say is that, like, just relax, man. Just relax. Just play the trophy hunting the games you want.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Like that is what I've done for quite a while.
Let's take it a step further. Make yourself an alt account to test all the games first to see if you can platinum them or complete the achievements, and then put them on your main like a psychopath.
That's the problem, though. Like that's kind of a crappy mindset. Like I was talking to Josh about it the other day. Like before we started caring about completion percentage and just trophy hunted in games for enjoyment, like it felt more.
I like how there's an in-between time for you where there's the time
felt
before
less-
caring about percentage, and then there's the time now where all we care about percentage, but then there's the time before that where it's like, remember we just played games, man?
I know. Well, because that's the problem is it gets progressively more and more like it almost like starts to feel more and more like obsessive. And we were saying that we blame Pat and JB because they're like the big they're the big completion percentage guys, and then they started talking about it and it kind of got us all into it and everything. But I don't know. At the end of the day, we'll see. Whatever. I overthink everything too. That's my problem.
Yeah, I mean, I like completing my games as much as the next guy. For me, it's like, all right, I got my money's worth, but I mean, the simple fact is I cannot have, and nor would I really. I think it kind of looks kind of weird. I can't get 100% profile anymore. I couldn't for years at this point because the game's shutting down.
I wouldn't want one. That's too much stress.
It's and I see people doing like on Reddit, not even so much in Discord because I don't think anybody in there can actually do it either. But they're like, oh, I'm going to start a new profile just for 100%. So I'm like, well, why would you like that? Seems so.
Fuck that. That's way too much stress.
It's stressful, but it also it feels even less interesting than like I have a 90. Like if I were to max out my percentage or whatever, I don't know what it would be, but let's say it's like 93%. I'm like, that looks more interesting than
there's less of a story there. If you have 100%, it's like okay, what do you talk about? It's okay. Well, I carefully curated what games I play. So
that or you even if you didn't carefully curate, it's like okay, you spend a lot of time playing these games, which is cool. But at the same time, it's like I still want to try other things. Like,
yeah,
it just looks and feels a little off to me. But I mean, if that's what you're into, go for it. And I mean, if that's what you have just from naturally playing, like if I were to start playing games now, I probably would have 100% profile just because the games that I kind of play. Well, no, not even that because I like playing Gears of War and Halo, and I can't complete most of those. Like those are the games that broke me. Of like, I need to get all the achievements and all this stuff. Blah blah blah. It's like, oh well, these games that I really like the stories of and the lore and the worlds they built that I want to play.
Yeah,
it's like It's like going in. It's like, all right, I know I'm not gonna 100% these. Like you can 100% a couple of the games in like the Gears and Halo franchise fairly easily, but for the most part, and I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I don't have that kind of time to dedicate to doing that. It's Daryl, right? Daryl was the one that did mine Lieben.
Yeah,
dude, I can't do that.
No,
just because
I don't have the sanity for that.
You are in a better position to do something like that. Where
but I still wouldn't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I've heard it's really not as bad as it seems. Like there's plenty of tips and tricks to like make it easier. But as far as like like I have a couple hours a night. If I try to do a run and I screw it up, it's like, well, I feel like I'll be in a shit mood because I feel like my night's been wasted.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that's how I am with any hard game. And if it's a matter of like having to restart every time, I'll
Hmm.
lose my absolute freaking mind.
Now,
Like,
if this was pre-marriage Ray, where I was just coming home from work and had like 6 hours after work every day to just game, then I'd
hmm
probably be like, all right, let's shoot for this. But now I gotta wait till Sam becomes a big boy.
yeah,
That's a few years out.
I I think the best, I guess at the end of the day, kind of the healthiest mindset to have is to quit gaming, sell my PlayStation, and just move on in my life. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think that the best slash healthiest mindset to have is like trophy hunt because I enjoy it. But one, don't get too obsessive.
Hmm.
Don't. I think a big part of it too is I got burnt out this last year between Survivor and my A to Z challenge that I put on myself. Like that's a lot. Like
Dude, yeah.
I basically locked myself in two different occasions, and I think that contributed to it as well. Like that was a big, but and just not stress. Like completion percentage is great. Like I still want to try to maintain it, but if it drops, it drops. Like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like the
And it's
games
going
are
to
more
drop.
important than yeah. The games are more important than a fucking arbitrary number that doesn't make any difference.
Especially
Like,
when the arbitrary number
um,
you're looking at is not the accurate number according to PlayStation.
yeah, and just like if there's shit that I want to play without trophies, just kind of I made myself the goal last year, and I started out really strong, and then I completely fell off where I would choose any game once a month in my backlog last year and just play it and complete it. Like whether it be on the Switch, whether it be on one of my, OG Nintendo consoles, whatever. And I did really well for, like I said, the first 4 months. And then after that, I just completely fell off because I just got sidetracked. Um, but maybe just get back into that. Like just
Hmm.
pick games that I really want to play that don't have trophies, like once per month, and just you know, play that on the side or something.
Oh, I need trophies and achievements to play games now. I'm that kind of broken, but
I kind of am too, but I find that if
I
I
need a
force
goal.
myself to play it, yeah. But I mean, games have in
Yeah,
game
yeah,
goals.
that's true. But like
Like
I need my E penis to get bigger. You know what I'm saying?
if I like I guess just to kind of compare, if I can jump into Fortnite and just enjoy playing that with buddies
Oh,
just and just go and like there's goals in that and enjoy that. I can do that with any game that has goals.
mm-hmm.
Like if you really think
Fortnite's
about it,
fun.
because I'm not, you know what I mean.
Yep.
So
Um,
I
a
just
fun
overthink
game,
everything.
that doesn't have trophies or achievements, Gary. It's on Steam. You can play it on a TV if you got an Xbox One or an Xbox 360. Switch. Uh, every PC and an Ouya. It's a little game called Hidden in Plain Sight. It's very fun. Highly recommend. It's it's a
What kind of game
game.
is it?
It's a party game, and there's different game modes, and basically, you spawn in as a character in like a map in a room, and depending on your game mode, you don't know who you are. You have to kind of figure it out while not giving away who you are to the other players playing. There, it's a I think I recommended it on an earlier episode of Platinum Achievements, like before you came on. But like, there's one game mode where you're racing and you kind of got you also have like a bullet as a sniper, and when you see your opponent and who you think it is, you can shoot them.
hmm
It's I'm doing a terrible job explaining it because I got a sneeze coming on. But it's like a a social deduction game where yeah, you don't know who you are, and you got to kind of move your guy around in a certain way to try to figure out who you are, but then also try to find out who the other players are too, based off their movements.
hmm
Very fun little party game, local multiplayer, all that stuff. So, and it's pretty cheap. $6 on Steam. Probably the same on Xbox. Probably. Let's see. Yeah, $6 on Switch. So yeah, I would assume that yeah, $6 on Xbox. Very fun little game.
hmm
Definitely a fun
hmm
game without trophies achievements.
Yeah.
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 But
yeah.
no, I mean, I like, clearly there's the goal in the game, but I like to have the achievement trophy goal as well.
The meta
Yeah, the meta
goal.
goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Also kind of because if it doesn't have trophies or achievements, I don't know if it shows up on your like gamer card or gamer tag or whatever the equivalent is on PlayStation. Is it just your PSN profile? No. PSN account? I don't know. But I like having that kind of like journal of games that I've played type of deal.
Yeah. It's like a record.
Which is the other reason why I don't get having the alt accounts for 100%. It's like, well, why? But then it's not on your main account, and then it's like, well, that's like part of it. It's the journey. It's the journey that matters. So, yeah, Max, great question. I think we answered it somewhere in there. Now,
he's like, God damn, that was drawn out.
God damn, I didn't expect to hear about How I Met Your Mother and Breaking Bad. All right, so
Expect the unexpected in this podcast.
Oh yeah, last thing before we bounce. I figured we would implement this. Let's call it like. I think we've done something similar, but we didn't implement it very well. We're just gonna give each other homework assignments, but the way that we're gonna do it is this. I envision this as kind of like a way to kind of get you to play and, you know, if you feel inclined, finish a game in your backlog. Right? So, you give me 3 games from your backlog, I will give you 3 games from mine, and then we'll each choose one from the other. And then it's just finish it, and then once you finish it, report back, basically. Like, it could be weeks or months or whatever from now. And then once you finish it, So, like, you finishing it doesn't mean that then we move on to my next game either. It's like, we each finish our game, we report back when we finish, and then from there, the other person gives us the next game.
It's kind of like a little book club kind of thing.
Sort of, except we both don't gotta do it.
We're not playing the same game though. Yeah, so, I get it. Is this any game in our backlog, or is this something that we've already started?
Oh no, it could be any game. I'm not gonna be a Colin about it, where we can't play games we started half the time for our Survivor Challenge. So I'm gonna throw out. I really don't want to throw this one out, but I feel like it's gonna be the only way it could possibly get taken off the backlog. I'm gonna throw out Vampire because I haven't tried that yet, but I like Don't Nod. I'm gonna throw out Nexomon. I know you played that one. Little Pokemon
I own it, but I haven't played it.
So does it show that, like, on PlayStation it shows who owns it, not who's played it?
I guess.
Because it says on PlayStation that Gary Cooper has played this.
I have not.
Okay.
It's literally just in my library right now.
Okay. And then the other game, which was a PS Plus game, which I'd started to get rid of the multiplayer stuff, but didn't actually finish, and it's somewhat topical, Sonic Forces. So you get to choose which one of those I need to complete, and then when I finish it, I'll bring it back to the group for discussion.
Okay.
There's one I hope you pick, and one I hope you don't pick.
I could probably guess which one is which. My goldfish memory. What was the first one again?
First one's Vampire.
Okay.
Oh, that was also PS Plus.
Do you want me to pick now? Okay. Do you want me to pick now, or is that the homework is picking?
No. Pick now, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
So Vampire, Nexomon, or Sonic Forces.
I want to see you suffer. I want you to play Sonic Forces.
Damn it. Okay.
Because I knew that was the one you wanted. And I'm just kind of curious as to
let me just go back in and make my own Sonic character.
Right?
I've heard it. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Your OC Sonic character.
My OC. Yeah. There was a component where, like, I guess the multiplayer might have been going down or did go down. And there was like 1 or 2 trophies related to like multiplayer aspect or something like that. I have no idea. Let me take a gander.
A geese and a gander?
5 out of 10, 15 hours? Damn it.
That's not that bad. I mean, 5 out of 10 is a little rough, but
5 out of 10, I don't know why that sounds rough, but I know it's not. Oh,
I
but
think
then
because for that
then
kind of
PlayStation Trophies has it as
game,
a
it
4
can be
out of 10.
rough.
Got it at a 4 out of 10.
What's up?
PlayStation Trophies has it at 4 out of 10. So, all right,
Okay.
that's my homework. I mean, it's installed on the PlayStation.
I'm gonna make it easy for you. I'm just gonna stick to games I already have installed.
Oh, I thought you were gonna change the game.
No. Why would I do that?
Mercy?
Well, Mercy's for the weak.
Let me see. I'm gonna look if anything's discontinued. No, it's all. Apparently, it's all at least on the Xbox side. Do I have Episode Shadow? Was it free? Oh, Episode Shadow is free. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, mine out of the games I have installed, because I'm not going to include random PS Plus extra games. I'm going to include actual games in my backlog.
Sonic Forces is a PS Plus game, by the way, but I had started it.
I know.
So I count it.
I know.
Listen,
I know it is.
Here, I'm gonna in an effort for fairness, give me a game that you're not excited for to possibly have to play, but it's on your backlog. Don't tell me what it is, and then I'll just pick the games.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on. I gotta do a smidge more research. Give me a second.
All right. Doing some research. Gary's researching. He's looking in.
This is the research montage. Let's see here.
Gonna be a montage. I don't know why I thought that was South Park, but I remembered that's actually just Strong Bad.
Oh, that is in South Park too. Gonna be a montage.
Oh no, then maybe it is South Park.
It's like that's the problem. Is like I don't feel like I have a lot in my backlog that I really wouldn't want to play. Usually, if I don't want to, I just hide it. Hold on. Please hold. Please hold.
This might be our longest episode yet.
I know.
Hmm?
I know. I tell you what. Boy, I say boy. Alright, okay. Alright. I think... Actually, hold on one sec. Sorry. Sorry, people. He threw this at me at the last second. He gave me no heads up, so blame him.
Dude, I'm on our Platinum Achievements YouTube channel, like I'm signed in as that. YouTube is a very different place when you have no algorithm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay. So, first game is Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas.
Okay.
Second game is Beyond Good and Evil, 20th Anniversary Edition.
Ooh, okay.
And third game is Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly.
Ooh. Good one. That's a good one. I'm going to give you... I know the two that I want to choose. What was the middle one? You got Oceanhorn?
Middle one was Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. Like the PS5 re-release or whatever.
Yeah. I have one of the Beyond Good and Evils. I don't know if it's the 20th anniversary, but I've got it on my Xbox. I'm gonna give you. It's between two. Pick a number 1 and 2.
2.
All right, I'm gonna go with number 1. I'm gonna give you Oceanhorn.
I knew you were gonna give me that one. That was the one I was least
yeah.
looking forward to. I don't like it. Doesn't look terrible, but after seeing okay. Josh's write up, he's like, "This game's not that great."
It's okay. It's not.
It's the second one looks sitting in my backlog for years. Yeah, it does.
But the first one is like a top-down, borderline Zelda clone.
Yeah,
but I didn't like it too much, but it's not a hard completion.
Yeah, I
All
think it's
right.
only. I think it's about the same as. I think it's about the same length as Sonic Forces, isn't it?
I think it's less than 15.
Huh,
Might be a couple. It might be like 5 hours. Amanda
okay.
came up and she's like, "You've been up here for 2 hours." I'm like, "I'm trying."
I know. I know. My girlfriend came back from walking my dog, and she's like, "You still on the podcast?" And I'm like,
Still
"Yeah,
doing
I'll
it.
be
Still
done in
doing
a
it.
minute." I
Uh,
mean, to be fair, it was a pretty long episode.
yeah. We'll cut these down. I swear. We'll get there.
Hmm.
All right, and with that, thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Platinum Achievements. Comment your comments. Give us a like on all the platforms now. Give us a follow or subscribe, whatever they do on each platform. I'm new to this.
Whatever the cool kids are saying
Yeah.
nowadays.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Definitely share. Share with your buddies, your game loving friends. I think we have plans for other things other than podcasts on the Platinum Achievements YouTube channel. The Spotify's and the Apple Music, Amazon Music, all that stuff will just be the podcast itself,
Hmm.
as far as I know. And yeah, that
Either.
pretty much sums it up. I got stuff I gotta do today. You got stuff you gotta do today. We gotta make sure we don't get broken up with. So, Gary, it was fun talking to you, man. I will talk to you
Always.
later. Maybe we'll actually do a way out this week. Who knows? And to all our hunter listeners, buddies and friends, thanks for listening. Keep on hunting. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good week.
Good week indeed.